Savage Dragon 13 from June of 1995. So this is 9 months after Jim Lee had released his version of Savage Dragon 13. And for Image X month, we did a video on that. And the response was, pretty negative from the fans. And so Larsen basically used this as a chance to redo the issue, because even in the letters page, he says he wasn't very happy with Jim Lee's issue here. And so he wanted to go back and, do the issue his way. And he also uses it to kind of fill in the gaps on some storytelling that he kind of forgot to do in between issue 12 and 14. So this gives him a chance to correct some of these wrongs. Check out the credits here. Of course, Erik Larsen. Uproariously unfunny, Josh Eckworm. All right, so Savage Dragon is recovering from getting stitched up from his fight with Open Face in issue 12, that crazy monster that clamped on his whole head and he bit his tongue out. It's a pretty awesome scene. And so now he's in the hospital talking to Nurse Ann Stevens, and he runs into Peter Clapton, who we believe may be the superhero Star. And then he takes off to go try and find this tentacle octopus guy that we saw in issue 12. And then the Fiend over here is talking to Debbie's mother. And again, this kind of fills in the story that was missed, because I think in issue, 15 or 16 or something, we see the Fiend as in Debbie Harris's mother's body. And so this kind of tells you how that happens in graphic detail there. All right, so Savage Dragon is going to find this suspect, and Star shows up, who looks a lot like Spider-Man in some of these profiles and silhouettes. And interestingly enough, they fall into a spider's web. And this is Widow. She's got them captured. And I guess somehow they get out. Nothing really happens to them, but they run into some homeless sort of hidden freaks. I keep not wanting to say the word, but that's what they call them. They call them freaks all the time. So it's they're not called mutants or whatever. It's just freaks. So we see Rock and Beast Boy and a couple other guys who we'll see in the future here. Now this is a panel straight out of the issue that Erik Larsen did. Yeah, here it is. Wildcats 14. I mean, it's the straight up better coloring. That's kind of interesting. This is on almost a not cardstock, a newsprint, and this is on the glossy stock. I think maybe it looks better. But anyway, he does that. There's multiple times in this book where Erik will just pull pages that he's already drawn, which is, I guess, pretty smart. So yeah, we get to see the Wildcats fighting Freak Force, and pretty much the homeless guys say hey, there's nobody down here. There's no tentacle guy. So Savage Dragon and Star take off. Little do they know, Cyberface is being held down there, or at least he's hiding down there. So Cyberface was a witness that they thought was dead, but they brought him back, and now he's missing. Goddamn soap opera here. Yeah, so Savage Dragon then joins the fight that Wildcats and Freak Force are having. When this issue came out originally, I was really... I wasn't very satisfied with it back when I read it back in 1995, because the story had moved on. We had already seen this work before, but Erik Larsen just had to make a point of no, it didn't stick with him right. I think we'll see in the letters pages how he's bringing up the thought of doing this, and he's going to pull it off. And nobody can stop him, so why not? I mean, and that's awesome, man. Look at that fucking Savage Dragon with that huge gun. It's great. Yeah, it's almost like Eric Larson did this for his own sense of completion and like for the reread, which I got to say is like, it's pretty good. Let's see here. Then finally, Mighty Man has a chat with Dragon and reveals that their secret identity is Nurse Ann Stevens. And so, again, by the time this book came out, this was already like revealed to us. And so it seemed like retreading territory that didn't need to be covered. But on this reread that I'm doing now, I kind of like it. So let's see. Was there anything in the letters? Oh, yeah, this is kind of funny. The letters pages, it's the exact same letters page from issue 13. So it's like, it really is just a rehash of the same. Yeah. Next up, Possessed Part 2 or Part 1. A real oddity of, how often do you have two issues of the same, same book, same number 13, and vastly different story, but they're both in continuity. Like they're all in continuity. Hell, even this is in continuity. So, yeah, really fun stuff, man. I liked this on the reread, but I think the best stuff is coming up. This Possessed storyline, the 3-part storyline, is really good. So I'm looking forward to that next.